Not that electricians are the best, but you definitely have a lot of advantages in the electrical trade. And I definitely like that side of things more.
When do you think you would start going from journeyman to your business? Let's say 5 years passed. Would you consider going in any other direction, maybe another trade before you did that? Or would sticking to that one trade be the way that you go?
I'd probably stick to the one trade. Not that electricians are the best, but you definitely have a lot of advantages in the electrical trade. And I definitely like that side of things more. I mean, there's a lot of HVAC stuff that's very, very technical and very advanced that I don't know anything about. I can't weld my way out of a wet paper bag, but I have a lot of respect for those who can. What would drive me to get out of what I'm doing right now is the minute I stop learning is when I get too comfortable. That's one of the main reasons I left the last job. Was it was, I've kind of done everything that they had for me to do, and I needed to branch off and try something new. So that's what would get me out of a place like this, was when I got too comfortable.
Yeah, I've chatted with a few other folks who have made it, to their journeyman and then just decided to switch to a different trade. Along their journey, they found something else that piqued their interest, and they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go look into that and see if there's some opportunity there. Usually, or from what I've seen, it was like electrical HVAC, because there's a little bit of overlap there. One thing I like to ask everyone is, what advice would you give someone considering becoming an electrician? Let's say this person's in the middle, 50-50, they're not sure. They could either do it or they could also be talked out of it. How would you motivate them to do it, to get into the electrical trade?
That's a good question. Again, not to say that electricians, the best trade, but I think it's one of the more fun ones, one of the more broader ones. Like I said, with the programming, you can get into robotics. I mean, if you want to do residential, that's also a lot of fun, and you can get into some really cool lighting solutions and stuff like that. I think try electrical first, because you can always go anywhere else after that. That's what I would say, because the opportunities are just bounds and leaps, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but that's where I land on it.
Amazing. Yeah, and I would agree. I think that's a great place to start. Like I said earlier, there's some overlap with HVAC. I mean, there's so many different directions you could go with the electrical trade, and just that knowledge in particular.